We'll talk about these joint initiatives of these two agencies and the OGC as the Open Geospatial Consortium. So we have the European and national American space agencies that are introducing a new project, which we're working actually on that, I guess, almost a year to set it up already, and we are really thrilled to talk about that and give you the opportunity to join this, because this will be led by OGC, meaning that this is open for participation in general. While this is driven by ESA and NASA for the moment. So, as you may know, we are running in OGC the different innovation activities in addition to standardization. And these innovation activities are the opportunity to test new approaches, to push forward these standards and to really build on that together. And there are some preparatory work that was done when we were working on this persistent demonstrator for open science, like the testbeds on the unillustrated data and open data cube architectures. So briefly about the values that we want to promote that were agreed. This are actually based on the ESA Open Science policy and strategy. So the idea is that we want to share the best practices of this research on the Earth observation, give the access to this resources and to the knowledge that is used in this community, make it more sustainable, meaning that it can be used wider in the communities that were not so much engaged because of different reasons, because of the lack of the resources, because of the lack of the knowledge, but also because there were in the other categories, in the other sectors, and Earth observation has so many use cases in the other sector that were traditionally not perceived, that this kind of insight and this kind of demonstrators can really show how this can be used. And finally, that should drive the business. So that should really facilitate the uptake in the commercial industry of the Earth observation. I'm not sure why it's not switching. Okay. Yeah, so the vision is that we have the open data, and the open data is quite common nowadays, even though that we are always struggling with the access to that data and really quality of that data. The idea is that we want to push that forward. So we don't only want to have the data, but we want to have the knowledge that link to the data. We want to have the algorithms. And the idea of this persistent demonstrator is to have the open source algorithms that are processing that data and producing new resources, to have the open access to that and open access to the platforms. So also to have this initial steps that could be done without particular input from the participants. So we're really working on the education and we're really working on the infrastructure. So in our perfect world, we have all of that initiatives in here that are working together, and it's really they are interoperable on multiple levels. They are really exploiting what's available in their own way. So each of the participants has really their own expertise and their own meaningful input, but the reality is usually like this. So there are ecosystems around the platforms more than the ecosystem of the platforms. And all of that is used in different ways, and everything is pretty much not transferable. So we cannot move from one platform to the other. The concept is now to harmonize it a little bit, to harmonize this heterogeneous environment of different platforms on multiple levels. So that will be on the infrastructure level, on the data representation, on the algorithms representation, on the execution, and all of that should result in the faster uptake and to really build this new capabilities among the communities. And there is an in-kind contribution from the agencies already. So I'm not sure if you are following. Just yesterday, I think that there was an ITT release from ESA that's called Earth Code. I will just briefly talk about that. But already we have these two platforms, VEDA and Earth Observing Dashboard, which were built in the last couple of years and will be used in these persistent demonstrators as the platform for the showcases of these solutions. First one is VIDA, that's provided by NASA, and NASA is working on providing open data for 2 decades or something like that, and they want to move forward. They want to move to this open science. They released the policy, that's SPD 41, that's really guiding how this open science should be built. And so the policy is naturally not everything because we need to have the resources. So this is the project that's providing also the opportunity to use this infrastructure and to build this research application together. So that are the components of these VIDA platforms. You have the data that's accessible on the platform. You have the infrastructure to compute the data, and you have some tools, algorithms that can be deployed or already deployed on the platform. So the idea is to put more algorithms. The data is there, but we want to put more algorithms and more outcomes of that algorithms in the platform. And this is the workflow, how the data can be used and how the open science can be represented in this platform. So we have the catalog, naturally, of the resources with different views from different perspectives. We can analyze that. So we have this Jupyter integration into this platform, so we can run the algorithms already online. We can try it out. We can produce new outcomes, then publish it to the platforms. Naturally, that has some constraints. But the constraints bring this added value. So you have the harmonized way of representing the data and browsing. So we really try to pull out the key factors and the key elements of description of this data. And then there is, the storytelling is quite useful, turns out, because people who are not in the industry, like they are not, Earth observation nerds and working on that a couple of years, are really not aware of the capabilities of these solutions. And the storytelling can show you, okay, you have the problem, you can solve it with this kind of solution, with this kind of data. The other platform, so we are talking about the interoperability. So we have two platforms now, and these two platforms should be somehow replaceable, and the solution should be portable among those two. And the NASA, ESA, JAXA dashboard was built. I think the publication was during the COVID, so the first scenarios were really around the COVID and all of that stuff. So you can already log into this dashboard and see what's available. That's pretty much the same. In general, it also provides you the way how to, I guess this video here. Yeah, so the video is actually presenting what's available. So we have the visualization of that of the catalogs. We can narrow down, we can drill down to the actual data, and this data is produced based on the contribution from this from the AO dashboard program. Yeah, it's another video. So we also have the integration with Jupyter Notebook. So yeah, that's running or not? Yeah, it's running. So there is a Jupyter Notebook integration, so we can actually access also the outcomes of the other work that's shared naturally. So we can collaborate on this platform, and you can publish that notebooks as well for the community. And the Open Science group in the ESA strategy is actually to put everything on that platform. So the idea is that all of the projects that will be run on this program of Open Science will be exploiting this platform. Yeah, and this is a new initiative. So, as mentioned, there is an ITT now, and I shall invite you to look into the ESA tendering platform. So, just yesterday it was released. So now we have something like 3 months to apply for that, and but 2. Okay, 2 months. But anyhow, it's short, 2 or 3 for this kind of solution. This will be a multi-year project with possible extensions, and the idea is to push that a little bit forward and integrate it more open, and to really integrate it with the network of resources. Network is resources is the initiative that ESA is supporting, and it's providing access to the infrastructure. So we have those multiple European infrastructure providers, and you can apply for the resources through the network of resources by ESA. So we will have kind of available credits to use on that platform. Yeah, this is kind of summary of the objectives of this OSPD. So the idea is that we would like to have it persistent. We see that there are multiple projects that are running, ending, and the resources are available somewhere or not. So we can come back to that or not. We can try to reproduce what was really the research matter of the projects if we set up in our own infrastructure. But here you have the data, you have the Argon, so you really are able to run it online, so you can test it and you can extend in the next projects. And yeah, there's a number of questions here. So the mentioned analysis-ready data, the data cubes technologies are one of those. So in parallel to this Earth code tender, we are running this persistent demonstrator, which is coordinated by OGC, which will try to answer some of these key questions, how this infrastructure should be built to make it really interoperable. And this is the schedule. So now we are setting up the RFE in the OGC. So I invite you to observe the OGC website or the newsletter, because just in a month there will be RFE released, and based on this RFE request for information, we will tailor the RFP, so request for proposals. And the proposals for this kind of projects means that you are proposing something that could contribute to this, answering the quick questions of the pilot. So how shall we build these data cubes? Or how shall we build this portable algorithms encapsulation? Or how shall we integrate those information level? Because naturally we have also the factors analysis-ready data ideas is that we have some key principles of the data description. So the data is actually reusable from platform to platform. So moving from ESA platform to NASA platform, the question is how much of the data can be simply reused. So if we have this basic understanding of this analysis-ready data, then we can move forward. And so this will be the first step. This second step is the next year. So as you can see, the timeline is quite tight. Here we are releasing the RFE, and here we are implementing the first phase of this persistent demonstrator. And then next year we are running the second phase, so we are refurbishing that. That doesn't matter that you cannot join in the second year, but it's better if you join at least as the observer in the first year, because you then know what's really the outcome, what are the problems, and what can you propose for that.